Hey guys, I just showed you my red iguana. I put him in his cage right now. I just want to show you a small feeding video. Give me your feedback if you have an iguana or have an experience with an iguana, and just tell me if I'm feeding him the right stuff. For now, uh, I went to the store. I printed out a list, everything, to see what they had and what an iguana can eat. And I'm just gonna show you what I buy and tell me what you think I should add. All right, cool. So first of all, about bok choy. Alright, this is very good for them. It's staple food. That's one thing. I bought 2 heads of bok choy. What I know that's really good for them, and other people feed their green iguanas or iguanas to enhance their colors and great taste. Red bell peppers. That's good for them. Watercress. I'm pretty sure this is a staple if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, and collard greens. Right. Some collard greens. So what I do is, before I start cutting it up, I rip off one leaf. I wash it really well. Then I chop it up into little itty bitty pieces. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm pretty sure that's good enough for my iguana to eat. I don't have a blender to chop it up. So I'm using this really small knife so I could really get between these little vines. Because I heard they're not supposed to, iguanas, if they eat this, they have a chance of choking on it. And I'm not taking that risk. So I use this little knife that's actually really sharp and just kind of cut off. I detail it out so there's enough there. And I just re-chop it up so that way it gets smaller. And that's for the collard greens. So, bok choy. I'm going to add everything else too. Like the watercress, bell peppers. Definitely the bell peppers. That has good taste. I went to a reptile store, East Bay Vivarium. And it's a good, he told me it's a good idea to add this with the regular, add a little bit of this for extra vitamins into the meals. So that way, I'm not using all of this, but it adds extra things. It's a Reptical Juvenile Iguana Food Growth Formula. And basically, all you gotta do is dehydrated. So what he told me, just add a little bit of water, let it soak in, and put it on top of the food. That way, the iguana would eat it with it, and it has fruit in it. I haven't bought any of that right now. I just bought the basic things so you can eat. Yeah. I'm just finishing up the bok choy. Yeah. Make sure it's finely chopped because if it's too big, they're gonna choke on you. My cousin had an iguana before, died because it choked on lettuce. And before he could save it, so I'm making sure I'm not having that mistake right now. I went to go check on my iguana, and basically, he's just chilling there. He's pretty alert, just really chill, which kind of scares me because I heard on forums and YouTube videos, and I read a couple books saying if you're the iguanas, it looks like he's tame and calm. There's probably something wrong with him. He might be hungry. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to finish this as fast as I can. Chop it up. This is gonna be this video is just between part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is when I unboxed him, and I haven't given him a name yet. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could give me like a creative name or something. That way I can name him. Because I was naming, like I said in the previous video, I was thinking about calling him Ichi because that means strawberry in Japanese. So yeah. Try to do this as quick as I can. Might need a bigger knife though. I just like using this small knife so it could get between the vines, and it's really nice. And then whenever I cut, see that's like the stem right there, if you can see that. I just take that to the side, throw it away. So basically all I'm giving him is really the leaves. That's all he needs. Yeah, I'm gonna grab red bell pepper. so you know how it looks. This is a red bell pepper. Great taste. I love them. My iguana loves them. Well, I don't know because I'm about to feed them this. It's also recommended to give them insects like crickets and all that. Crickets, mostly mealworms, but there's some iguanas that really. Hold on. There's some iguanas that do and don't like insects, so you just kind of have to introduce it to them so they could get used to it while they're babies, so you can see what's up. If they like them, then keep feeding them. They're a really good source of crickets are a really good source of protein. So I suggest you give iguana that. And if it doesn't like them, don't give it to them. You could give them dubia roaches when they're older, definitely. That's if they like them. And if they don't like them, can't give them to them. Simple as that. I didn't know they could eat insects until I read somewhere they can. And I saw videos. Cut it up like that. Now, remember, every time you buy something from the groceries, you should always wash it because it might have pesticides, and you don't want your iguana to be ingesting those. Sorry for the video quality. I'm using my MacBook right now. So I'm going to chop it up like this. The general rule of thumb is their food, the size of their food should always be between the sides of their eyes. So if they're babies, you're going to have to chop their food really good. So that way they don't choke on it. So that's what I'm doing for mine. He has a pretty large head, but I don't want to take the chances, so I actually chop him up a bit more smaller than his eye length. That way he doesn't get sick or anything. I don't want that to happen. When taking care of an iguana, you really have to pay attention to the meals they eat. Because you don't want to feed them the wrong thing, then they get sick and die. Alright, so might as well show you the food bowl I'm at it too. So that way you know how he looks. I mean, not he looks, but if you want to see how he looks, check out part 1 of the video. That way you get an idea. Because I just unboxed them today, if you just came into this video. So, really nice pattern. I like how he doesn't have green around his body and red. The only part that's green is the bottom of his body. So, that's cool. Finally chop. So, what I'm going to do is rinse the bowl out. This is food bowl, by the way. I have a water bowl just like this. I kind of just clean it out, rinse it. There's a little bit of dirt in there from before, from last night because I put his bowl in there to see how it would look. So I'll clean it, nice. I already disinfected them and everything, so that's good. And I'm just gonna start throwing it in there, basically. So I chopped up half of the. I'm only gonna give him a little bit of food right now. I'm not gonna give him too much because he just got here, and I feel like if I gave him a lot, that would stress him out. So just. everything looks about right. Usually when they eat their food, you're gonna want to check them so if they start choking, you know what, you need to save them. So you get the idea of when they're choked. Yeah, so when they're choking, you could just go in there, like open their mouth and pull it out before you know they die. So I suggest you really look into that. Make sure those are cut off. Always pay attention to the stems. They could be the thing that kills you by choking. Just saying. I hope it doesn't happen to you. That suck. Like you just got the iguana and then it dies the next day. What's horrible. The good thing is an iguana is fairly big, so if you chop it really, really small, it's good as long as you don't leave it really, really big. You don't want them choking on you. Alright, so I'm going to throw in green bell peppers. Nice food bowl. Mix it up a bit. Grab the bok choy. Leafy greens. Also, if anybody knows how to do portions and stuff, like how much, because I read online that you're supposed to have like a certain ratio. Problem is, I was never really good at that kind of stuff. So, if anybody else knows how to do that, please tell me. Put up a comment or message me. That way I know, and then I can fix it later. For now, I just put like half of this, half of what I cut from the bell pepper. Put it back in the bag. A little bit of the bok choy. So that way I can just start adding stuff into the bowl. So now I'm going to also cut. You know what would really come in handy? A magic bullet. You know? Those work great. So I'm just chopping it up right now. Chopping it up. Chopping it up. Hey, while I'm doing this, how about you just enjoy some music? Let me put some music in for you. The smaller, the better for your baby gecko. Baby iguana. So the smaller as you can, the better. So I threw that in there. I'm gonna throw whatever the rest right here. Doesn't really matter. I still got 2 heads of lettuce and bok choy, watercress, and collard greens. Basically, have a lot. And if you don't like taking this time to cut, I suggest you just use like a blender or something and chop it up finely and really examine it afterwards. You just don't want to chop it up, not check it, then you know, oh, my iguana is dead. Alright. So that's basically what I got. I'm just going to end this video before it gets any longer. And I don't want you guys just wasting your time here. So, yeah. Catch my second part 2 video. What I'm going to put is the water, the food inside the cage with him. And see how he likes it. Later.